I'm John O'Connor, and I was at Adrian Marinovich's memorial yesterday at in Hollywood, and I wasn't able to share because the site cut off the time that we had. They must have had another event, so I felt like I wanted to say something for Adrian, and really just to connect really my heart with some thoughts about what a wonderful person he was and how he touched my life, and how grateful I am to have known him. And it's weird talking about him like it's past tense, because I still think of him as Adrian. So to me, I'm just talking about Adrian. And he was a beautiful human being, one of the most just magnificent examples of what's wonderful in people. A really bright guy, really caring, and a great connector. He connected with people everywhere that he went. I heard his brother saying yesterday, and some of the other friends of his, that he was constantly late. And it was because he was constantly end up in a conversation with somebody that he just met on the street. And that totally makes sense to me about Adrian, because actually I think we both share that in common. So to me, that's one of the things that made him so wonderful and so magical, was that he was constantly checking things out, checking people out, constantly engaging and kind of seeing what people would do and saying, hey, how are you? Like, as much to see how people would respond as to find out about them. And he was very seriously interested in people. He'd take the time to talk with them. And there was no sense of hierarchy, or no, he was just literally one guy connecting with someone else. Somebody that, you know, he was very successful as an attorney. But that kind of life of, you know, us and them and all that, he really stepped away from that a long time ago and really started to explore his spirituality and the bigger world, and finding, really looking for what he was really here for. And I met him at USM like 12 or 13 years ago, and actually she was working with me, Rohini Ross. She was in USM, and she came in one day and said, oh, Adrian Marinovich has this really cool thing he told me about, and he said we should check it out. And so I said, okay, you know, and so we checked it out, and it was a program in Arizona that we both ended up going over there twice to do different aspects of it, with a guy named Blair Singer. And Adrian was actually there when we were there, and so it was fascinating to have him there. But it was really a very powerful educational program with Blair Singer, who's Robert Kiyosaki's best friend, and he really was pushing us to learn to be better connectors and better engagers, and better in selling and doing things that would, you know, engage with others and really ultimately help bring our mission together and to be the best at whatever we want to be. And so I got a lot out of that trip, and that really, you know, I definitely talked with Adrian. I always thought he was a fascinating guy. But we started to get to know each other better, and over the years, I've loved talking with him and meeting Anya and spending time with them up at their house. And then, you know, sometimes, one time they just called and said, we're in Santa Monica, you want to have dinner? So, but he was a guy, a very uncommon guy, in that constantly awake and alert and looking for what's interesting, what's wrong, and he actually grew to have a great passion for America, for this country that he was born in, that his parents were immigrants to, and really kind of reversed a lot of the beliefs that he'd had when he was younger, where he was a radical and kind of anti-American in a lot of ways. He grew to see it differently and become very passionate about really why America has so much to offer, and the freedom that's so different here than everywhere else. And he really became a passionate communicator about that. And then he really, the idea came to him about a hero on every block, this wonderful idea that he made this movie about that has been completed or is about to be completed. And it's about the thing that really is that unique human thing that sets each one of us apart distinctly, that we're so unique and that we also have such commonality with each other. That the idea was that there are heroes everywhere, all around us, and we just don't notice them. We haven't taken the time to find out about how'd they get here, what did they have to go through, what are the lessons and the inspirations that we can get by hearing these other people who are not famous superstars. We may know those people's stories, but the stories of common, quote, common, and in that way I think Adrian and I would agree that there are no common people. Everybody's unique, everybody is special, and everybody was given something when they were born. That their life's adventure is connecting the dots and learning how to put those unique personal resources together in a way that allows them to feel fulfilled in the joy of that natural creation, and at the same time, obviously, is serving others. And most people just end up getting a job and living kind of in sort of a box. But Adrian really saw it so differently. That's why he stepped out of being an attorney and said, maybe I'll study spirituality and maybe I actually learn about spiritual psychology and then become a PhD, clinical psychologist. And he knew that was something that was really a rich experience for him. But then there was something more. That wasn't quite it. It was wonderful, but that wasn't quite it. And he found that movie, and it was inside of him, and he had to get it out, and he went off on that adventure. And I know, if Adrian was going to live for another 20 or 30 years, the movie would have just been the first step. And I think that the thing that I would say about Adrian in the movie is that it's about touching all of us, every one of us, and encouraging us and inspiring us to step into really fully being who we are, to go in that adventure of life, the discovery, to be our best, and to learn how to serve others in ways that we love and that others love too, so that literally we would never retire from that ideal life that's using us fully and in a way that uplifts, encourages, and supports others. So Adrian Marinovich was a great, I won't say was, Adrian Marinovich is a great man, a wonderful friend, great husband, loving husband, grateful husband to Anya, and loved his family, his brothers, and his whole family, his sisters from New York who I got to meet. Beautiful people, and all I can say is that I am so grateful that I got to meet, and I've gotten to know Adrian, and I don't think I'm at the end of knowing Adrian. I think there will be more, and I look forward to seeing the movie when it comes out. So I was touched by him, and I plan to continue to be touched in the ways that he touched me. I want to pass that along. And this relay race of life, it's us passing what we have on to others in ways that can work for them. Adrian's movie will do that, and Adrian has done that, certainly for me. Thank you, Adrian. I love you, man. Take care.